I just watched episode 11, I believe, of season 4, Lines of Communication, or something like that. So, in this one, everybody... sorry. We meet another nemesis from Zadoom, another underling of the shadows. Because, okay, basically shit's been going down on Minbar, or whatever they call their planet. Yeah, Minbar. And since the Grey Council got taken apart, the warrior caste has kind of been throwing their weight around, and some bad stuff's happened, and it sounds like a bit of a mess. So, you know, maybe we shouldn't have broken the Grey Council. Good job with that one, Dylan. But, yeah, the fucking warrior caste is so useless. All they do is cause trouble. And then, meanwhile, like, the religious caste people are out actually fucking fighting. Anyway, it's always really weird. It's like, we have this fleet. It's like, aren't you supposed to spend your time praying or something? I mean, that's kind of boring, but... Well, anyway. So in this one, this Minbari is all like, I don't know his name. He's like, Delenn, you should come and meet this possible ally. Or actually, he kind of is like, Delenn, you should come to this place. And then the ship's getting attacked, and then, oh, it's this possible ally who is basically just attacking the ship to get your attention. Well, anyway, so they're like super creepy aliens, and I couldn't understand the vast majority of what they were saying, which was really annoying. But the point is that Delenn figured out that they were shadow people, and so they had a nice battle, and there were some pretty great blowing things up scenes. And I love the bit where Lydia's like, so are we going to go back to Babylon 5? And she's like, who said anything about going back? We're going to teach these guys a lesson. And so then they have a battle, and they blow up the mothership, and it's pretty great, because I like my space battles. But now Delenn has decided that she needs to go back to Minbar and help sort some of this bullshit out, so that's what she's going to do. And we had a bunch of Franklin and Marcus still on Mars with the Resistance, who will hopefully accept help from Sheridan, what help he can give. Again, basically, though, Franklin was saying that they need to, like, concentrate on getting rid of Clark before they can try and move any further on their other plans to get Mars to be independent of Earth Gov. So, or Proxima 3 or whatever, also or have the same kind of goal. So that's happening. Also, there's this like tiny subplot about Franklin and Number One, who still doesn't have a name. So I guess she's keeping it secret. But I like that Number One. Anyway, and Marcus is just giving him shit over it, which is wonderful. I love the bit where he's like bets him 50 credits, and then he's like, I owe you 50 credits. And Franklin's like, no, not giving you any money. I did not agree to that. And then what did Marcus said something I thought was really funny. It was just because he was being a shit. Which is probably my favorite. When Marcus is being sincere, it's kind of like, eh. But when he's being a shit, I like that. That's funny. No, what did he say? Oh, I don't know. He called him a cheap bastard or something, which is amusing to me. Anyway. What else? Oh, there was some great Ivanova in this. Poor Ivanova. She just wants to sleep through the night. And Sheridan is all like, I have this idea, no, you need to hear it like this instant. And Ivanova's just like, why? But his plan has to do with broadcasting true information and hopefully getting it out there. And using Ivanova as the face for this, and she's just like, I'm not happy. I would, if you were not my commanding officer, I would shoot you. Ivanova, God, I love Ivanova. She's so much fun. I love how just deadpan she is all the time. I think she's very funny. Yeah. There's another episode with no aliens except for the Minbari. Sad face. But I guess these are the two big important plots that are going right now. Mars and President Carter being awful, and Minbar kind of going nuts. So that'll be interesting to see. Yep. So I will be continuing. It's kind of bad because, like, I don't want to watch. Well, okay, what I want to do is I would love to sit down and just watch 5 episodes in a row, but it's like I've got to make the videos, so I can't really do that. And I also should probably be doing other things, but whatever. But yeah. Well, I'm out of it. Well, I'm writing my novel. You don't care. I'm not going to talk about that. This is not my personal blog. Okay. Maybe see you again today. Maybe not. Alright. Today I watched episode 12. Conflicts of Interest. Which is mostly a Garibaldi episode. Where he had a job to do for a client. Basically, he was just supposed to sneak them onto the station so that they could make an exchange. And it was actually really interesting when you found out what it was that she was there for. Because apparently there's some sort of a disease, and I think this is the first we're hearing about it, which is attacking telepaths. And basically her husband's company wants to study it and see if they can find a cure, but also to have this information so they can try to keep it out of the hands of people who would just sit on it and be perfectly fine with all of the telepaths dying. So this is interesting. My guess is that it's something the Shadows left behind, or somebody who's working for them, because the telepaths were like oh my god, I can't finish sentences, could work against them, but they were also sort of useful in flying their ships. So I don't know, I could see a reason why they would want to wipe out all the telepaths, kind of as a vindictive measure now that they're gone. And I can see further the connection that if I continue on that assumption that Garibaldi is somehow working for Bester, even if he doesn't know it, then his getting involved in this makes sense. Oh my god, though. Like, I know Garibaldi was basically my favorite character in Season 1, but I'm getting to the point where I definitely can't say that anymore. He's pissing me off. He's going to be such a fuckhead about everything. Like, of course, you quit being a cop. Naturally, they're going to come and take your gun. Go get yourself another one. Like, quit being a fucking baby. You're easily twice my age. Okay? Well, maybe not. But, seriously. Grow a pair and knock it off. Partly just because he's pissing me off, but also because, like, he's messing up Zach. And I like Zach. Zach's the shit, okay? Whatever. Garibaldi's annoying me. So, yeah. Franklin and Marcus are back from Mars. Ivanova has a new job related to getting information out there. Like, they decided to start trying to do it last episode, I think. And she went down to Epsilon 3 and met Zathras, because apparently there are 10 Zathrases. Because, yeah, there just are. So this is a different Zathras. So he's fun. What else? They talked about the Drac again. The Drac, I don't know, that's what I'm calling him. That's what it sounds like. Attacking you know, the borders of the non-aligned worlds areas and stuff, and just kind of messing around. And so Sheridan has the idea to send patrol ships from the White Star fleet. And so then there was a scene where Londo and Jakar had to be in the same room, which was fun. Mainly because it's one of those things where, like, if it had happened several seasons ago, it would have gone completely differently. But this show. Yeah, we didn't see any of them in the Minbari this week or today. They were off on Minbar, I guess. Still, I don't know if we're gonna see what Delenn is up to there exactly, or if it's just like or not. Well, anyway, this episode was set on the station, so that's fine. Yeah, I don't know. I guess with Garibaldi I can mention a couple of other things with his plot. One is that, well, okay. So this woman who was this contact for this thing, this exchange, who is now the wife of this guy, was his old girlfriend from Mars. But that was boring, because I just don't care. Also, this guy offered him a job at the end of the episode, which was pretty cool. You know, so we'll see. We'll see. He's definitely considering it. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes it. Wouldn't at all be surprised. Oh, and the other thing was that while they were having the kind of chase scene, the thing with Garibaldi is he's like, oh, I quit being a cop, and yet he falls so quickly into doing the same things he would do, and thinking he can get away with them now, and, you know, and, like, telling security officer, oh, go tell Zach that there's going to be a thing in Hangar Bay 3 or whatever, and, like, I mean, it's cool, but I think it just shows how it just doesn't make sense that he quit. Just doesn't. Just doing Garibaldi. So, yes. Well, we'll see what happens next. We'll see if next time on Babylon 5, will Garibaldi move to Mars? Will we find out what Delenn is up to? Will Veer ever be in an episode again? Alright, so we'll find out. Today on Babylon 5. Let's see, it was episode 13, Rumors, Bargains, and Lies. I actually thought this one was kind of funny. Well, most of the stuff was Sheridan. So to get the League of Non-Aligned Worlds to give him permission to have the White Star Fleet patrol their borders, he basically makes it seem like something, like they've got some big secret that they're hiding about somebody attacking someone, and it basically scares them into asking for it, and I thought that was really funny. And he gets Londo to help him. And Londo was very funny in this again, too. Oh, dear. And, yeah, he was just kind of like... And I liked the bit where he was just bitching about things about human psychology that he can't understand, like why they find some particular comedy team funny. And Sheridan is like, no, seriously, that's the funniest thing. And Londo's like, I don't get it! That's okay, Londo, I don't get it either. Since, of course, we don't actually see the routine. But, yeah, anyway. So that was one half of the story. The other half of the story was all about our buddies on the White Sun, whatever the hell. Because the original blew up, right? So, like, the ships don't really have names, they just have numbers. Anyway, Delenn, Lanier, and other peeps on that ship. And they meet up with Naroon. And so it turns out that fighting has begun on Minbar, and, like, in the capital, and it's basically the religious versus the warrior caste. I mean, it's so fucking typical of the Minbari that they teach all their little monks how to fight. But seriously, like, I love that the worker caste just apparently isn't even relevant. Like, yeah, we have one, but nobody cares. Nobody cares. Like, they're not involved in this. Like, it's just amusing to me. I'm just imagining the religious and warrior caste having fights, having, like, battles, and then going off somewhere else, and then the workers come in, like, trying to fix everything. Like, God, they fucking did it again. Just perpetually. So Delenn is trying to get Nerun to help her with some sort of idea so that the two of them can work together to try and keep this from really erupting into war. Except at the end of the episode, Nerun leaves the ship secretly, and it sounds like he's not down with her plan. But I don't know. But it's kind of weird because he said that he had, you know, information on the religious caste's, like, plans, but he doesn't because they didn't really have any plans. I mean, at least the people on that ship didn't. I mean, why would they know? Whatever. So maybe it's a long game, but we don't know because then the episode ended. Yeah, so there was some fun stuff. Kind of basically that Delenn and Nerun are trying to figure out a peaceful solution, while the other warrior and religious caste Minbari on the ship are trying to sabotaging it because each thinks that the plan is to surrender to the other, but it isn't. So it's kind of fun. I mean, okay, the warrior caste didn't get up to much. The one guy just sort of hit Nerun over the head with his stick, but the religious caste were like, let us martyr ourselves. I was like, what are you doing? And then Lanier heard them talking about it, so he went and got, like, the thing that they were going to spread some sort of gas throughout the ship so that they'd all die. But then he didn't tell on them. I love that bit where he explained why. Basically that Delenn lives in a different world from the rest of them. And she has this naive optimism. I don't even know if he's right in his character assessment of her, but I don't know. So he's just like, so I didn't, you know, keep your secret for you. I did it for her. But I don't know. And then at the end he sees Nerun sneaking off. I was like, Lanier, go back to bed. You're missing part of your lung now or something. You're supposed to be sleeping. Whatever. But good old Lanier. And after he got, like, a face full of gas, Delenn was talking to Nerun about him and said that he was, like, well, her student, basically, I guess. But like she was to Dukat. And, I mean, they have such a venerated memory of Dukat. And I think they would feel the same way about Delenn if something happened to her. It's kind of interesting. And also because I'm reading a Star Wars book, and it's been a while since I've thought about Star Wars. I'm naturally just kind of like, you are Jedi. Stop trying to lie to me. You are all secretly Jedi. So, that's a thing. Yes. So yes, I enjoyed this episode. Let's see. What didn't this episode have? This episode didn't have Garibaldi. Maybe that's why I enjoyed it. Because he's been pissing me off. So he wasn't here to piss me off, you know? But, like, I don't know if he's decided to leave B5 and go live on Mars or not. But I'm sure we'll find out. Maybe even in the next episode. But yeah, I got a kick out of this one. Lots of humor, especially from Sheridan being all secretive. Because he doesn't even tell, like, Franklin or Ivanova what he's doing. He's just like, yep, do the thing, because I'm telling you to do the thing. And they're like, okay, but also, there needs to be, like, a tribute somewhere in the universe to all of Ivanova's amazing facial expressions when reacting to things. Because, like, she is so funny. She's like, I love her. And, like, when she was preparing to do her broadcast at the end, and Sheridan was talking to her, and then somebody would say, 30 seconds, just the look she would give them was always just so funny. Like, I can't even do it. I can't do it, but she's amazing and I love her. I just feel like I don't talk about how great Ivanova is enough on this, so. She's just so solid. Like, she's nuts and she's so funny, but she's just such a solid character. Like, you can absolutely rely on her. Like, you know what I mean? She's not going to go off the handle, and she's not going to just quit Earth Force out of nowhere, and she's not going to, I don't know, she's not going to stab you in the back. She's cool. I like her. I like her to that. I hope they give her a starship at some point, and she can, that she can command, and then she can just go off and be amazing. Except then she'd be far away from me. But whatever. She's awesome. And that is what I have to say about that. Out. Alright. Watched another one today. Episode 14. Moments of Transition. Well, that was kind of a holy crap episode. Alright, well, Delenn is the shit. I don't talk about how great she is often enough. Like, seriously, Delenn is awesome. So, we find out what her plan was in this episode, because she executes it. For the religious caste to surrender to the warriors, but then there's like this tradition where a leader from each group has to stand in this bright light, and whoever, it is kind of like playing chicken, whoever leaves first loses, and I guess it hurts you a lot, but it was pretty intense, because she went and stood in it and was all like, yeah, warrior, she's just so great. And then the leader of the warrior caste didn't really want to go in, but then he finally did, and then he jumped out and was a shithead. Oh, and Naroon is dead now, which makes me really sad, because Naroon was awesome. Naroon. His name sounds like one of those little lullabies that the Third Doctor sings. But no, it was just really cool. Just her being like, well, yeah, we admit the warriors are better at, fighting, but we need to all work together, and then she reformed the Grey Council with actually more members of the working caste than warrior religious, because they're the ones who always get caught in the middle. Like I said, they have to come in afterwards and clean up. And I liked that. She was like, we always seem to forget about these people. Oh, Delenn. You're so cool. Delenn is cool, and Naroon was being awesome all over this episode, and Lanier was great, and stuff was also happening on the station, whatever. Bester was in this. Yee, Bester. Fucking around. I don't know, man. Lots of stuff, and I don't know where it's all going. We've pretty much been confirmed, though, that Bester's fucking with Garibaldi. But you know what? Garibaldi is still pissing me off, so, independent of that, so whatever. Lita was in this, Zach. I love Zach. And, okay, poor Lita, at the end, had to finally rejoin Psy-Corps. Not, necessarily not to work for them directly, but to kind of still officially be part of them, and she has to go back to wearing the stupid little decal and the gloves and stuff. And after she dies, Bester gets her body. Anyway, sorry. Yeah. What? It's just odd, because it's first of all, and he said that he doesn't, there's a legal contract, that he doesn't if she unless she dies of natural causes. So here's my question. What if she lives to be 97? I mean, Bester's not going to be around, probably. I don't know if people live a little longer in the future, but whatever. She lives to be old, say. And Bester, expects to outlive her. Well, maybe it was more of the Psych gets your body. It probably was, but just the way he phrased it. He was like, I can't think of there's no delicate way to put this. I want your body. And I was like, you probably could have thought of a better way to phrase that, but okay. It was really funny. So I'm just really sad that she kind of got forced into that by various people being shitheads. Definitely don't trust this guy Garibaldi's working for, who doesn't have any pictures of him anywhere. Who knows? Maybe he doesn't even exist. Maybe he's some sort of creepy Psychor front. Like, who knows? So, oh, and the ending. Sheridan has finally had enough of Clark's shit, and he's gonna take the fight to him. And it's gonna be intense. So, yeah. Oh, and could I just say that I really wish Vera would show up at some point, because I miss him and his face. Okay? I'm just saying. Maybe next time. Alright. I just watched episode 15, I believe. No Retreat, No Surrender, I think is its title. And in this episode, Sheridan leads his forces to liberate Proxima 3, and succeeds, yay. And there was a space battle, and there were some oddly familiar faces among the captains. I feel like they were probably on Star Trek at some point, or something else that I've watched at least. So there's some pretty cool stuff. Oh, Veer. Veer is not actually dead. Veer is alive. He was in this episode briefly. He seems to be just sort of... He seems to be a little frazzled, let's say, but he's alright. And Garibaldi is now officially leaving B5 to go to Mars. He says that he's not coming back. We'll see about that. He has a scene with Veer, actually, where he is coming to see Londo about something, but Londo's not there. And Veer, you know, is basically like, well, why aren't you helping Sheridan? Because you've got to approve of what he's doing, so you should help him. And, you know. And Garibaldi says, well, he does approve of the idea of getting rid of Clark, but not the way Sheridan is doing it, so he can't do work with Sheridan. So I don't know what he's up to. Probably the most intense bit of this episode, for me at least, in my opinion, was the scene where Londo comes to Jakar's room and is asking him to join him in having their two governments jointly express support for what Sheridan is doing. And it's not until the end of the episode that Jakar finally comes around and says, alright, I'll sign the thing. But, oh god, it was just one of those scenes where Londo is just like, it makes me so sad. Oh, and Jakar. Oh, Jakar. I don't know, you know, I think it's inevitable. Not inevitable, but I think it's just the way it is. I will always like Londo better than Jakar, despite the fact that he has done so many more terrible things. I just like him better. Oh. Yeah, and Jakar is all just like... But... So, I mean, that was just intense. The Minbari aren't in this one at all. I guess they're all still off on Minbar and dealing with the stuff there. So that'll, you know, See when they come in. I just want to watch, like, the whole rest of the show right this instant. Because here's my problem, is that I keep going on TV Tropes just to read stuff, ostensibly, but really, secretly, subconsciously, it's because I want to spoil myself for things that are going to happen in B5. Except I also don't want to spoil myself, and whenever I do, I'm like, oh my god, what am I doing? But it's never for anything super specific. It's always pretty vague, so... Still, I know that there's plenty of intensity to come. Very little of which I'm sure will actually make me happy. It'll probably all just be really depressing. But we'll see. That's good. This one is pretty great. As if Debris has a review of it, which I am going to watch because now I can. But well, anyway, next time on Babylon 5, we're probably gonna go to Mars and kick some ass.